the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. I've been waiting on the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. On the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. I've been waiting on the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. On the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. I've been waiting on the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I
Michael Vick here at BetUS.com. Get it all. Huge bonuses, great odds, a race book, live in-game betting, and a casino. BetUS, my online.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to TD Fans Talk, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. Y'all hit that like button on your way in the building. Let your friends and family members know about the channel as well. This stream is being powered by BetUS. Receive a 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits, ladies and gentlemen. Take advantage of the opportunity. Listen, and that bonus is up to $2,000. If you're looking for a sports book, make sure that you check out BetUS. Quick little teaser here on BetUS, something that I found on the site I want to share with y'all is the alternate season wins. This is very interesting. We all know we're going to win more than seven and a half wins, okay? That's, come on now. That's like the easiest thing in my opinion. But what I like about it is winning. I know it's negative 400, but that's almost like one of those lock bets. Nice one to make. I know some people are like, well, it doesn't bring you back much, but hey, it's to me, it's one of those lock bets. All right. Also, you got the over under for 11 and a half wins. Now that's the interesting one. Over 11 and a half. If you think we can do it this year, that's plus 250. I'm gonna be honest with you. The under might be the safe bet on this one because maybe at 11, maybe at 11. Even though I have our win total a little different this year. Very interesting odds on BetUS. Make sure that you check them out. Supporting our sponsors is supporting the channel. Y'all hit that like button on your way in the building. Let your friends and family members know about the channel. Shout out to the homie G Firm. What's up, brother? He said, just showing love per usual. As always, man. I appreciate you, homie. I'm glad to be back here on YouTube after being in YouTube jail for about a day and a half. So I'm glad to be back. I don't know if Truly Thankful is up in here. I hope Truly Thankful in here. But happy birthday, Truly Thankful. I'm gonna be honest. I was like, man, I'm tired. I'm about to go to bed. I said, no, Truly Thankful said, go live for my birthday tonight. I said, man, let me hit this button. Let me hit this button. There we go. There we go. Happy birthday. All right. Happy birthday to you. All right. Wish you many, many, many more, at least 200 more. All right. All right, y'all. So let's get into it. I want to break down what I know right now and what's been going on in Miami Dolphins Nation. I've, obviously, I've been quiet for a little bit, about 4 days worth of coverage where I just like 2 days I could have went live, but then I went in YouTube jail, but now I'm out of jail, YouTube jail, right? And I was just sitting back, looking, scoping the scene and really thinking about the team, man. First of all, I'm glad I didn't go to training camp this week. I would have been really mad if I would have went this week. The homie, Rip Tupac been there covering it for me, giving me all the play-by-play. And y'all know how practice is supposed to start at like 10 a.m., but they don't come out to, I mean, they like technically, or it's practice supposed to start at 10:30, whatever. But technically, they don't come outside from inside till like 10:55. And it's all stretching and drills. And they don't start real practice till like 11:10, 11:15-ish. 11:10, 11:15. Turn up mic. Oh, testing. Hold on. Let me see something. Testing. Give me a second. Because it looked like my levels are low. Definitely want to crank that up. Testing. All right. How is my mic? Am I good, ladies and gentlemen? Am I good? Yes or no? Yes or no? Am I good? Am I good? It's good, bro. You were just too far from it. I don't see how. I was kind of like right up on it, but that's all good, man. Yeah. Let's see here. My levels look a little skewed from what I'm used to. All right. Anyway, that's fine. I'll figure that out later. That sounds better. All right. So but yeah, what I was saying is I'm actually glad I didn't go to training camp this week. Because they never really start 11 on 11s in practice until like 11:10, 11:15, right? And they've been coming out there giving a few reps, and leaving all week. They've been done at like 11:40. Like usually practice goes like the first week of camp, practice was going at like 12:15. And then that week, right? The last week that I was there last week, they were going to like 12:35, 12:40. They were putting extra work in. And all of a sudden this week, they've been coming out there for like 30 to 40 minutes and then going back inside and practicing. And I'm like, man, it gotta suck to like go down there and just be watching practice, and all of a sudden they only do like 30, 40 minutes of real practicing. So I'm glad I didn't waste my time with that. But in these short practices, I do want to say this, man. The more we join up, the more the ones are playing. Based off of what I'm hearing, our team has been very inconsistent. And let me also say this, because I've been kicking back, just relaxing, listening to what everybody else has had to say, all our writers, the people that's there and stuff. We're in that season that I never want anything to do with. We're in that part of the year where the media and everybody, I don't want anything to do with it. You know, the overly making everybody great. You know, Channing Tindall's great now. Cam Smith is a baller now. Like every time you ask a player a question about a player, it's just how great they are now. You know, we go through this every year around this time. And then I try to urge people, because I know a lot of people are adding me, oh, this player said this player's playing well, Cam Smith and all this and that. Ladies and gentlemen, when the regular season starts, some of these guys won't even be on the field for us to be building them up the way that we are. They won't even be on the field. So all of this, you know, this person's making plays, that person's making plays. Here's another thing you have to consider. When threes are going up against threes, coaches don't care that they're making plays. I mean, they care that they're making plays, but what I'm saying is nothing they do against threes, nothing they do has the coach saying, oh my gosh, we might need to start this person. Like people like, I think he could start. Like threes against threes ain't no such thing in the vocabulary of the word. The start ain't in the vocabulary of the threes or the fours. And I keep trying to help people understand, here's what it is. When you are in with the threes and fours and you're balling out, you're fighting to get second team reps to show that you belong as a solid backup. That's what you're fighting for. Now, I understand when we sustain an injury like Aaron Brewer, Eichenberg got to go to center. Now there's a vacancy at guard. Now we can start looking at the twos and threes of who's going to take that spot. You know, that makes sense. I get that. But we got to stop sitting out here trying to sell ourselves on every player on this roster. Had a real hard time today, man. Like, why is everybody asking me about Tier Tart? I've been told y'all this. He's a camp body that they feel like he has potential. If they can develop him, whoop-de-doo, we gotta back up. If they can develop him, we gotta back up. And if he can miraculously be a dog and ball out, we got a starter. But people like, ooh, we got Tier Tart, man. Just like, you know, we talk about the guy from, you know, Florida State, the defensive tackle, big guy, just, you know, had talent in college. Developmental piece, y'all. Y'all, you know, you get breaking news, say we going to get a player, you go look at the picture, you like, oh, he's huge. Yeah, we got our tackle. Like, he wouldn't even be a free agent right now if that was the case. So the reality is they cut Tier Tart. I know they said it wasn't a scheme fit, which in other words, it wasn't working out. He wasn't playing well enough in this system for us to even need him. Let's give him an opportunity. Maybe he'll fit on another team. I know he's not on the team, Zach. That's why I brought him up, because everybody kept asking, hey, why did we cut him? He was good. Where did we start that from? It's just like, here's another piece. It's just like everybody keeps saying that Aaron Brewer is good. He's a good run blocker, but as a center in general, like here's what I'll be trying to understand. Do y'all see how much Aaron Brewer is getting paid by the Dolphins? And by the way, let me pull that up because I like to speak in facts and not generalize. Let me pull up the exact amount. All right, so Aaron Brewer signed a 3-year, $21 million contract with the Miami Dolphins. They guaranteed $10 million of it, which is just 1 year they can get out of it without worrying about anything, right? But I'm sure it'll go 2 years. At least that's the goal. We hope it does. We hope it works out at least to that extent. But here's the deal. And we added voidable years on it, by the way, just in case we wanted to get out this year. We could cut bait and just eat the very little dead cap on the back end. But here's what people need to understand. If you're that good and we got you for $7 million a year, then why didn't you stay with Tennessee? Why did Tennessee say, nah, we straight? Because they had one of the worst O-lines in the NFL last year. And he's one of the worst pass blocking players in the NFL. One of the worst pass blocking centers in the NFL. Now, he does have talent in run blocking. There's no denying that. But overall, this is what I be talking about. We'll sell a person that just all of a sudden, because they're a Dolphin, he's pretty good. And the only thing that baffles me, and I understand you got to go get someone because you don't want to lose out on people. But we should have brought Connor Williams back, y'all. His contract is cheaper and laid up with incentives. We should have brought Connor Williams back, familiar with the system and all. But I understand we had to go get somebody just in case we wouldn't have been able to get Connor. Now, Zach said same reason we didn't keep Andrew Van Ginkel. Well, the reason why we couldn't keep Andrew Van Ginkel was because we couldn't afford him. At least we thought that we couldn't afford him. But the Titans could afford Aaron Brewer. That was nothing. The money we're giving Aaron Brewer, the Titans, that ain't big bucks for him. It's not at all. And you know what? I'll actually do you one better too. We actually failed on the Van Ginkel situation. We actually, to be quite honest with you, the Miami Dolphins dropped the ball on that, if you ask me. Let me pull this up real quick. We dropped the ball on that Van Ginkel situation. I think Van Ginkel got a deal where it was like $11 million a year or something like that. Let me verify that. I don't want to be just throwing numbers out there. I probably spelled it wrong. No, I got it right. Yeah, so Van Ginkel signed a contract, a 2-year, $20 million deal. $10 million a year. And here's the insult of it, because they only guaranteed 1 year. They didn't even lock themselves in. Here's the insult of the Van Ginkel situation. You go get Shaq Barrett for $1 million less? You go get Shaq Barrett for $1 million less? And I'm going to tell you now, Van Ginkel still has upside to him that I felt like would have been amazing on this roster. And then you get burnt anyway and Shaq retires because he tired. And he want to go be with his family and care for them more. Like, I'm going to be honest, sometimes there be all kind of things that just don't make sense. Now, there is a caveat that I can't ignore that, usually when you bring in a new coach, you want to get rid of the old regime who still, has that loyalty to the previous coach. And obviously Van Ginkel may have been one of them guys because he partnered up with the previous coach. I get that. But some of these things don't make no sense. Some of these decisions don't really make no sense. And the mod tribal said because it was 2 years guaranteed. Dolphins not paying third string edge rusher. What do you mean 2 years guaranteed? Van Ginkel got a 2-year, $20 million contract and only $10 million guaranteed. Only 10. So it wasn't 2 years guaranteed. It was 1 year guaranteed. If we're talking about the same thing, and I think we are. And stop saying third string pass rusher. Look at our roster today. If Jalen Phillips didn't come back the other day, we might be arguing whether or not Van Ginkel would be starting right now. Because I'm going to tell y'all another thing too. And I might be wrong about this. Now, this way I know I'm sitting up in my chair, so I'm about to say something that might make some of y'all be like, oh, you tripping now. Let me tell y'all something. Y'all thinking your Ogba all of a sudden is making this resurgence? I ain't buying it. I ain't buying it. We'll find out in the regular season. I want to hear his name called early and often, and I don't think that's going to happen. I ain't getting food. I know what it was when he was here. He benefited from Brian Flores' system, sending all them zero blitz, 6-man coming to the quarterback, 7-man coming to the quarterback. You know how many times he came unevaded to the quarterback when nobody blocked him? And them stats went up. And we were like, ooh, look at Ogba. Then we paid him the big bucks, and then we bring in a defensive coordinator, got him playing the normal position where you got to be a dog and go get it, and then he became non-existent. Then he couldn't even get on the field. They couldn't wait to get rid of Ogba. Now all of a sudden he come back, and he balling in camp. Maybe our O-line just that trash because I ain't buying it. I ain't buying it until I see it. Till I see it in the regular season. I want to see you make all kind of plays in the regular season. I know Ogba with 4 guys rushing the quarterback. Y'all remember him whenever with them zero blitzes was coming and he was all scaring quarterbacks. No. We gonna see. We gonna find out. And if he can become ball out, all right. All right. But I'm telling y'all, a lot of y'all got a whole, in my opinion, misconception of the Emmanuel Ogba. I knew what time it was. Because it's another thing. 80% of the players on the defense on the Flores system look good because of the system. I mean, Brandon Jones was looking good. I mean, everybody almost was looking good. Everybody was in on the sack game. Jerome Baker was looking good, getting sacks. Because in them zero blitzes, somebody coming unevaded to the quarterback. It was just a matter of who turn is it on this play. They getting pressures, they getting sacks, they were getting all them numbers. And when you go look at the stat sheet, you go look at PFF, you like, oh, they ranking solid, they ranking good. It was a result of the system. This is why when Fangio or whoever the coach, I forgot his name, that was left over after Flores got shipped out, they kept him here to run the defense. When it was him, when it was Fangio, and they stopped they didn't do as much zero, and they made you play straight up. Now all of a sudden, Jerome Baker got to go. Now all of a sudden, Brandon Jones got to go. Now all of a sudden, Ogbar ain't playing as well. Now all of a sudden, everybody ain't looking the same, making the big plays. Yeah, Jermaine Wilkins had 9 sacks and got a huge contract. You want to know why? Because the newer system where it's mano a mano allowed him to show who he really was. When you ran all that zero blitz stuff, they focused in on guys like Christian Wilkins and stuff. They didn't get as many unevaded looks at the quarterback. Those were the actual real good players. Those were the actual really good players. But we'll see this year. Just remember what I told you. Remember what I told you. And I'm gonna gladly be wrong on this one because I need him to be that dude. There's Jalen Phillips coming out there. Y'all could look at him and see, oh, he moving well and all you want. We don't know what he gonna be whenever that real physical play in the regular season start. Connor Williams said something that freaked me out, man. Connor Williams said something that freaked me out. And like this the stuff that's concerning to me. Because to me, I got to go check, but I thought Connor was still relatively young. But let me say it. Connor said, we only been out here for a few weeks, and it feel like we've been playing for 3 months. He wasn't saying that like, oh, we're flying around and we got camaraderie. He was talking about how worn they already feel. You want to know why that concerned me? The reason why it concerned me is because I know they worn. You know why? Because they trying to be more physical this year. See, playing that physical football, getting in them trenches nasty and dirty and putting all your effort on every play, it take a lot out of you. When you ain't used to it, you end up crashing until you become used to it. I'm terrified about that wall. A lot of these players hitting that wall this year as well. I'm terrified because this is new to them. They all about finesse, and now they finna get into being physical. How long will they last? How long will they last? McDaniel around here walking around putting everybody in bubble wrap. Trying to, at least. Trying to. Jermaine, I don't think he said it because of the heat at practice. I mean, he's used to it. He done been there a few years now. I mean, the heat is the heat. He never said that any other time. He said that in reference to the fact, I know they are getting physical now and they already feel tired. Just like when Tyreek said, man, I feel 30 today because it gets harder the older you get. He ain't slowing down, but it takes a little bit more effort for him to do what he does. That's the thing with age, with wide receivers and running backs and all that. The older you get, you can still do it, but the harder, the heavier it feels. To get in that next gear hurts. You can still get there, but it's a toll that you're starting to feel. You're starting to feel every practice. Why you think Tyreek been coming out there 30, 50 minutes late every practice? Not like he walking to the building late. No, he's coming out there with everybody else practicing 30, 50 minutes late. They done did 2 sessions of 11 on 11s. He coming out there because he pacing himself. He know what time it is. He getting older. He got to rev that engine up. He got to save the gas in the tank. He can't just go every single practice hard like he used to 2-3 years ago. It's a league-wide problem, TD, not Miami. See, that's where I disagree, Ryan, because like Baltimore, like Buffalo and teams like that, they've been playing physical for a long time, and these players are used to it, just like the Patriot way. When you done been in that playing physical year after year after year, you're used to it. You're used to the grind. You could go a little. It's just like endurance. If I just start running 5 miles a day, I might struggle. But after about 6 months of running 5 miles every day, I'm coming out there, it's nothing. So it's not a league issue. It's a matter of who's been doing it and who's trying to start doing it now. Trust me, you go from being finesse to now being physical on a regular basis. You get worn quicker until you get used to it. 49ers every year, them players used to it. The only players ain't used to it are the new acquisitions every year. And that's why they got to get acclimated. In my camera. 49ers are finesse, man. You done lost every bit of your mind. It's one of the most physical teams in the NFL. One of the most physical teams in the NFL. They running back take a lot of punishment. Debo and them, big body, physical, they take punishment. We speed guys and we slide out of bounds. Tyreek catch the ball, 2 guys coming up, let me get down. I don't need to take them hits. That's what you call finesse. Physical guys gonna get that extra 2 yards every time, because that's what physicality is. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Tyreek on the crosser, bam, he got it. Up, race to the sideline. Y'all know he can lower the shoulder, move forward, and get 2 to 3 more. But hey, I already got the first. Let me get out of bounds. Middle of the field, catch the ball. 2 defenders coming. Oh, let me get down. Versus the guy put his head down and push forward for 2 more. Physical teams get them extra 2 yards. Y'all know good, y'all don't watch more film than me. Y'all know good and well, we don't care about them 2 yards. We got the first. Let's live to fight another day. That's finesse. That's finesse. Yeah, man. 49ers physical. That O-line physical. Them backs, McCaffrey physical. The receivers, when they catch it, they physical. I don't know what you talking about. We're finesse, they physical. Finesse flies around the field on the weak defenses, just flying around, just eating them up. You know why? Because the reason why we beat up on the bad teams is because they don't have the talent that's physical. That's why they're finesse too. Our finesse beat up on everybody finesse in the NFL. But every time we run into that physical team, it's the same result. It's the same result. TD, stop it. We physical too. Okay. Yeah. We physical now. At least that's what we telling everybody. Well, you only determine that in the regular season. I like the punch in the attitude that they showing right now, but we ain't gonna find out until the regular season, because you can't tell me last year we were physical. You can't tell me the year before we were physical. You can't do that. We weren't. We were a finesse team. That's why when you go in that cold weather, we are phased. We don't want to take that spiking, killing hit in cold weather. We don't want to get in the trenches and just fight in cold weather because it hurt. Because we finesse. It don't hurt the physical teams because they beat their body up all day anyway, and they get more used to it than us. Not saying that everybody else don't struggle in those situations, but they don't struggle as much as us because we definitely aren't used to it. Like when people talk about those cold weather games, it baffles me that Dolphin fans all around the world always brush it off. Like, oh, it's just a cold weather game. We just didn't show up. We just said, like, some of y'all really do believe that weather really doesn't have anything to do with it. Like that has nothing to do with it. We just didn't show up, and our injuries. Ladies and gentlemen, when you got that heat bearing down on your skin, boiling your blood all day, your body, giving your body energy, by the way, you know what the sun does to our human body. Give you that energy, got you running and your speed. Everything is moving. When you go up in that cold weather and your body not used to it, and you can't tell your body what to do in those situations. You telling it what to do, but it ain't giving you it's not giving you, it's like giving you a 6-year-old child that has an attitude with an adult. That's what it's giving you. I'm gonna do what you say, but that's what it's giving you. Your body don't want to deal with that stuff. You ain't getting in the fifth gear. None of that. Unless your body used to it, it is shocked. Unless your body used to it, it is shocked. And if you do want to get your body in the fifth gear, trust me, you are literally working 3 times harder than the team that's used to it to do it. Y'all think it's an advantage when teams come to Miami in that sun? Well, it is an advantage for them that's used to it when we go down in that cold weather. Y'all think people just be talking when they say Miami is 0-11 in under 40-degree weather. And well, that's just because we didn't show up or the defense or the injuries. Y'all keep on saying that. That's too strong of a correlation. Too strong of a correlation for y'all to ignore it. This is why every year I could sit there and look at our schedule and be like, L. Hold on, let me check the weather that day. L. This is why I can look at our schedule and tell you that. So it's going to be real interesting this year when we pull up in December. Them 3 cold games against great teams, good teams at least, that's the problem. If we play cold game against some bums, you might feel okay about it. Let's go get one. But the messed up part with us, every time we got a cold game, it's against a good team. And this year we got to deal with the Jets, Green Bay, I think it's Baltimore. I might be wrong. I probably am wrong. I don't even know if we played Baltimore this year. I don't even remember. Hold on. I know it's the Jets. I know it's Green Bay. Let me see. It's one team up north. I know it for a fact. And they're a good defensive team because all the teams were good defensive. Hold on. It's pulling up now. I know it's another team up north. And it is in this team, it's supposed to be real cold when I look at the forecast. Okay, here it is. All right, so Green Bay got it. Cleveland Browns. God. Yep, the Cleveland Browns. Oh, my bad. Y'all already had it in here. And here's the thing. It ain't no end of November cold. It ain't no beginning of December cold, which is freezing. This is smack dab right after Christmas, where it starts to be its coldest. December 29th. In Green Bay with the higher altitude, November weekend, cold. Freezing. It's gonna be Thursday night, and you're gonna see everybody in the crowd, smoke coming out their mouth. Them Green Bay games where the smoke coming out their mouth, and everybody got the cheese hats on, and we there on the road, Lambeau Field, right after Thanksgiving, where it start piping, and you better hope it ain't one of them blizzards. Well, we might hope it's a blizzard. Maybe they'll move it. I don't know. But that Green Bay one's going to be brutal. Then Houston will be all right. But it's still going to be a tough game in that dome playing a good team. San Francisco at home, finesse versus physicality. We'll see. But week 17 and week 18, You might well kiss the baby. Week 17 on the road versus the Browns. Week 18 on the road versus the Jets, and we don't know, and it's a to be determined. that already tell me if it's 10, 11 wins and it's a tight race, that's going to be prime time. We're not even going to get the middle of the day 30s. You're going to New York on January the 6th. It ain't even going to be during the day where it's still freezing and it's the 30s. It's probably going to be at night and be 22 or less. So we're going to see how physical we are this year when it matters most. That's why I look at our schedule, man, and it's so weird because it's a winnable schedule and it's a losable schedule. It's such a winnable schedule and such a losable schedule. It's winnable because Jacksonville week 1, we're the better team. Buffalo week 2, they depleted, hopefully. Seattle on the road, tough, but we can go in there and get a win. Tennessee, revenge, even though we just can't beat them for whatever reason. But we got them. New England, no need to talk about it. Coming off a bye week on the road to the Colts, they could be shocking with Anthony Richardson, but overall, we're the better team. Arizona Cardinals week 8, better team by far at home. And I'm telling you, there we are. Could be 7-0. The schedule's so winnable. And then you play Buffalo on the road. They still may not be good enough anymore. So we could win that game. But I'm going to, just for error, split. That's fine. 7-1. On the road versus the Rams, solid team. On the road, tough. Prime time. We can get that W. It ain't going to be easy, but some will say L. Raiders at home, W. New England again, W. We're 9-2. That's 9-2. It could be so favorable. Then you got to go to Lambeau. I don't like it based off of our history. 9-3. Jets at home, we get them. 10-3. Houston on the road, we could go in there and get them. Nothing scare us about that situation. It's mano y mano. 11-3. One more win, we locking it up. We got 3 games left. San Francisco, they'll say L. 11-4. At the Browns, too tough. 11-5. At Jets, that's what it comes down to. 12-5, maybe. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not. And then you go back and you say, but then the schedule's so favorable, but it's also so tough. Jags, week 1. We could beat them. Oh, my gosh. I cannot believe we lost to the Jags. Pass rush was non-existent. O-line was trash. DBs in the secondary getting cooked. I don't know why. Week 2 versus Buffalo. Just win this game, we'll have faith. Oh, my gosh. Short week, but we lost. It could be tough, too. Now we got to go on the road to Seattle. It could be tough. Tennessee, let's go home and get a win. As we keep saying every year with Tennessee, and they beat us for whatever reason. It could be tough. New England, ain't no way on this earth we losing. But could you imagine a 1-4 right there? Bye week. Come back, the Colts, Anthony Richardson show. Oh, my gosh. You don't lose to Arizona whatsoever. But that could be 2-5. Now we on the road at Buffalo. That could be 2-6. On the road at the Rams, that could be 2-7. Raiders, 3-7. Patriots, 4-7. Green Bay, Jets, Houston, San Francisco, Cleveland, Jets. Miami ain't winning only 3 games. But man, this schedule is winnable and losable. This schedule is winnable and losable. I want you to think about it compared to last year. Think about it compared to last year when you had the Giants on the schedule. Where's the Giants on this schedule? When you had Denver on the schedule, I don't see Denver on this schedule. When you had the Panthers on the schedule, I don't see the Panthers on this one. And I just went through 3 of the worst teams in the league. Should have let that sink in. When you had the Jets twice without a quarterback. That's 5 games right there that I don't see on this schedule. When you had the Commanders of last year's Commanders version, I don't see a team like that on here. That's 6 games right there. Like, if you look at it, we had some of the weakest circumstances that we were dealing with last year. And truth be told, the only reason I'm not mentioning the Patriots twice is because we got them twice again, and it ain't no difference. But that show you 8 games right there where we just had the easiest fortune. 8 games. That's 8 games I just named where it was like, that ain't no resistance whatsoever. That ain't any resistance whatsoever. Chargers. We thought we were doing something till we found out they had the worst defense in the NFL last year. That's 9 teams that I don't see that type of play on the schedule. We had 2 more wins. One was the Cowboys. Now I want to know what the last one was. What's the other game we won? What's the other game we won last year, other than all the ones I just named? No thought of it, huh? Let me go to 2023. I'll find it. What game was it that the team was bad? I already got the Jets. I already got the Chargers. We didn't win one with Buffalo. We didn't win. I'm talking about our 11 wins last year. Our 11 wins last year were against some of the worst. Okay, here, let's go down the schedule. Chargers, New England, Broncos, Giants, Panthers, Patriots, Raiders. The Raiders. We got them again. We got them again. They don't have a quarterback, though. And I'm going to be honest, they made it tough. It was 20-13 in that game. I didn't even realize it was that close. And then we had Washington, the Jets again, the Jets, and the Cowboys. Now, who we got on the schedule this year, at least the early indications, that are as easy as those teams? This is going to be the year, y'all. Not only do we have higher expectations, but it's going to be harder to achieve the expectations. Let me read these super chats that just came through. Thank you to those who donated to the channel. Glenn, my brother, said you did this last year. You telling us we had the second hardest schedule before the game started. You really don't know who this year Panthers and Washington team will be. You just assuming. Well, Glenn, let's back up for a second. I actually disagree with that. And let me tell you why. Last year, we didn't think one iota that the New York Jets were going to lose their quarterback in week 4. All you can do is at a preseason basis. We know things are going to happen to make our schedule easier or harder because maybe it's us that lose somebody major. So there will be factors that make a game easier, or there'll be factors that make a whole bunch of games harder. We don't know. But starting the season, it was rightfully so to do it last year. What did I tell you last year, Glenn? Watch this. Watch this, Glenn. Let's go through it. Hold on. Let me present, share screen. Miami Dolphins. What did I tell you last year, Glenn? This is what I did last year. Let me put it on the screen. This is what I did last year, y'all. No cap. Watch it. I said, hold on. No, I want to go to week 1. Man, those Chargers, if they come out playing that man press coverage like they did the year before, it's a wrap. I don't see how we're going to be able to do it. Their offense is going to put up points. We're going to try to put up points, but if they come out in that same defense they did the year before, I don't see how we're going to do it. That might be an L, and it's on the road. We barely won the game, and their defense was the worst defense in the NFL, and they didn't press the entire game. For what reason? That's why their coach got fired. I have no clue. You had a game plan that dominated us the year before, and you just came out the following year and didn't do it at all. There's a reason why their defense was worse than the league, and it was the coach's fault. That's what got them fired. New England, ain't no way we losing that game. It'll be tough, though, because they always play us tough. Remember I said that? And sure enough, 24-17, they played us tough, and we won. Denver Broncos, I already knew we were going to beat Denver. I said that their defense, I actually was wrong on this. I said they typically have a good defense and a good secondary. But so I was definitely wrong on that. That was just trash of them. Buffalo, at Buffalo, man, we ain't beating Buffalo until we beat Buffalo. I don't even think it's going to be close. Oh, man, you got to have hope. I'm just saying, I feel like we might can beat Buffalo, but until we beat them, I'm not going to ever say we beat them. Do you remember me saying that? We took the L. Giants, W. Ain't no way we losing to Daniel Jones. I made that clear last year. Carolina Panthers, come on. I made it clear last year. At the Eagles, we're going to take the L. We ain't beating the Eagles. It just ain't happening. They're a better team in this league. They physical in the trenches. It just ain't happening. We took the L. Patriots, like I always tell y'all, ain't no way we losing to them. They'll fight us, but in the fourth quarter, we'll take off. Chiefs, man, I think we could get them this time, but man, it's overseas too. This is a tough one. This is the one right here, Glenn, I was hopeful for, but I remember, I said, we already know what's going to happen, but I'm going to be optimistic. You remember that last year? I said, we're going to lose the game, but I'm going to believe we're going to win. You remember that? What happened? We lost. All right, bye week coming out of the Raiders. The Raiders, they on the road because of the coaching situation, but I think we still should get that W. But it's not going to be an easy win. But there you have it. It was a tough win. Jets, man, I'm worried about the Jets. Aaron Rodgers. We didn't know that Aaron Rodgers was going to get hurt in the beginning of the season. Same thing as earlier that I said. We had no idea. This is the game that I felt like was going to be the real test, the Jets. So I was wrong last year, but I was wrong because Aaron Rodgers got hurt. So we beat, and well, I didn't say we were going to lose to him, though. Now, I said that we might split because on the road to the Jets in November, that could be a little concerning depending on if the early weather come or not. But I said that Washington, I said now Washington can creep up, on the road in their stadium. I think it's going to depend on the weather. But that should be a win. That was an easy win. Tennessee, man, I'm worried about this Tennessee game, y'all. We way better than them. We got way more talent than them. They got a rookie. But it's something about them in that defense. I just don't know. But I'm going to mark it down as a win. But, man, this is the game that concerns me. Oh, man, y'all, you tripping, bro. Yeah, remember? Y'all got on me about Tennessee. I even was wrong. I said we were going to win, but I said this is the one right here that you better not sleep on because it can come back to haunt you. I said that, Glenn. Jets, same situation. I'm wrong because I didn't think the Aaron Rodgers situation. Cowboys, I got us losing that game. I don't see us putting out enough offense against that defense. And whether we want to debate this or not, man, we were lucky in that game. Cowboys missed out on 3 scores in that game, fumbled at the 1-yard line at the beginning of the game on a beautiful drive that they capped was going to have a touchdown, and they fumbled. Right before halftime, they want to go for it on instead of kicking the field goal, and they catch the ball, but they couldn't get in. It was at the 1-yard line. They ran out of time. It was halftime. Another play on the left side, running towards the end zone. We made a heck of a play and stopped them. They dove for the touchdown, but I forgot who it was. Hit them. They killed themselves in this game. All they had to do is take 1 field goal out of those 3 possessions that they choose not to, and we would have lost. But I was wrong. But our offense still struggled like I said they would. But I was wrong thinking that this was going to be a loss. In week 17, I told y'all we ain't beating Baltimore. Y'all done lost y'all mind. I said cold weather on the road in Baltimore, it ain't even going to be close. I told y'all that. Oh, you got to have some faith. We beat Baltimore the year before. I said Baltimore want revenge from that. They know they were stupid playing a rookie in single coverage against Tyreek over and over and over. You think they forgot about that win by Tua with them 6 touchdowns? Oh, Baltimore finna lay it on us. I told you that last year, Glenn. In Buffalo week 18, I told y'all, man, the season gonna come down to this. And will we get over the hump? And unfortunately, this is where I say, until we beat Buffalo, we ain't going to beat Buffalo until we beat them. And we lose the division right there. And everybody got mad at me and said, oh, you're just so negative. You're just so negative. And I'm saying, hey, if we beat Buffalo just once this year, we'll win the division. But until we beat them, I can't say we going to beat them. Now, this year, I'm going to say we going to beat them because they depleted. But I'm just worried about trading those wins with losses to the Jets. Now, you correct me if I'm wrong, Glenn. Did I not say these things last year? I said these things. But the only circumstance that was different on here is that we won the Cowboys game, even though I called the situation properly, and we lost the Titans game, which was a wash. And lastly, the Chargers game. I was wrong. The first game of the season. It's exactly what I called, Glenn. Not exactly, but with those 2 to 3 mishaps and not knowing Aaron Rodgers was going to go out. So it can go either way, bro. Slippin' Jimmy said, anyone who is confident in our offense in big games hasn't been paying attention. And that's the point that I'm trying to make here too, Slippin' Jimmy. That's the point I'm trying to make here. Kansas City Chiefs, we put up 7 points in that big game, right? Then you go look at the other Chiefs game. We put up 14 points in that big game. Then you go look at the Eagles. We put up 17 in that big game, right? Then you go look at The Cowboys, we put up 22, but remember, they were all field goals with the exception of one score, which was off of a turnover. Well, we turned it over and then we punched it in. Baltimore, we put up 19. Buffalo, 14. This is against the better teams, we don't score. And all people are fascinated with is this. Watch this. Jets, we put up 30 against the worst offense in the league that kept the ball in our hand. Right? Washington, 45. I ain't even got to explain it. Jets again, 34. The worst. Raiders, 20. Well, I already knew they were going to play us hard, but that was a better outing from a defensive standpoint. But the offense, we put up 20. These aren't we only exploded against the worst of the worst. Patriots 31, the worst of the worst. Carolina 42, the worst of the worst. The Giants 31, the worst of the worst. Denver 70, and we know what they were going through then. Patriots 24, they play us tough, and 36 against the worst defense in the league. That's all people pay attention to. And then they gloat about we were the number one offense in the league. Look at the yards we put up. Do you not see against the worst of the worst team? Now, you show me in 2024. Let's go to 2024. Please show me, at least based off of the offseason and last year, let's try to identify the worst of the worst. Let's try to identify the worst of the worst. Is Jacksonville the worst of the worst? We could beat them like the Chargers last year, though. Buffalo ain't the worst of the worst, but I think they regress. We'll see. We'll see. I'll just leave them out of the conversation. Seattle ain't the worst of the worst. It don't matter if they regress. These are solidified teams with still got talent. They didn't lose a lot of people. Tennessee got way better, and we can't beat them for some reason. New England defense is good, but their offense is still trash, so it's going to be the same outcome. The Colts, I don't know what to think. I don't know what to think about the Colts this year because we don't know who they are with Anthony Richardson. We saw the little 2 games where he made some flashes, but we don't know. So I kind of stay away from that. I have no respect for Kyler Murray. I just think he's not a good quarterback, not a great quarterback. He's like above average and I just don't like Kyler Murray as a quarterback. But I have no concern about them. Buffalo, where's the worst of the worst, though? I mean, am I going to put Arizona in that conversation? Maybe, and that's probably just because I don't like them. The Rams, not the worst of the worst. Raiders always play us tough, and they got better, especially defensively, if you look at what they did. Christian Wilkins. New England already explained. Green Bay certainly ain't the worst of the worst. Jets with Aaron Rodgers. The Texans ain't. The 49ers aren't. The Browns aren't. The Jets are like where are the worst of the worst? It's like the only ones you can look at on this list might be the Colts and the Cardinals. And we don't even know what to expect because you haven't had a good season with Kyler Murray and Anthony Richardson. We don't know what they're going to be like being a full-time guy if they stay healthy. But if you want to compare this to last year's schedule, see, here's the difference between last year's schedule and this schedule. Last year, we had a bucket of great teams, a bucket of trash teams, and like 2 or 3 middle-of-the-road teams the whole season. The problem with this year is that we got a big old bucket of good teams, a big bucket of average teams, and just a few bad teams. That's the breakout this year. That's the breakout for it, and that's why this season is going to be that much tougher. It's going to be that much tougher. Let's keep it moving. Julio said it could be worse. We still benefit from a second-place schedule, so there's a silver lining there. Is it a silver lining? Like, what second-place teams do we play? Seattle, instead of who? No, we play that whole division. Which teams do we play that we deal with the second best team? Green Bay, because the Lions were first. Green Bay, we benefit. Like playing Green Bay or the Lions, are we benefiting? Who else though? Who else? Is it the Browns? Yep. Are we benefiting if that quarterback healthy? Say what you want about Deshaun Watson, but before we got hurt, he was 5-1. Are we benefiting? Maybe. I don't know. But those two, I don't know if we have any others that we play second best. Texans, no, we play that whole division. So it's not the Texans. We play the entire division. It's the Green Bay Packers, the Cleveland Browns, and one more. The Raiders, yeah. But again, a team that plays us tough, and their defense got better. And let me tell y'all another thing. You know how I've been walking around here talking about, I think we got better collectively as a whole. I don't feel that way no more. Until OBJ proves that he's back healthy. Then when you look at us losing Shaq Barrett, until Aaron Brewer come back healthy, and you want to know the big caveat of it all? Well, we always want to hope Armstead give us a large amount of games. But the big caveat of it all is whether or not the O-line as a whole in them guard positions, if they're going to be better. It's hard for me to just automatically say, man, I don't know. We'll see. But I don't think that we're like this collectively better anymore until those things happen. Until I know that we have a Baltimore Ravens version of OBJ. You ain't got to be your greatness anymore. Just come in, make a few plays here and there, catch some 30-yarders across the middle on rare occasions. Okay. But until I see that, because y'all, this rev up, getting back from the injury and all that, man, we don't know if that man just completely lost the step at this point. We have no clue. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm a little worried about OBJ. I feel like he's trying to work himself back, but he ain't got that step anymore. That's why even in Baltimore, it wasn't like he was out there cooking. He was just gliding across the field through zones, and if you left him open, he could still catch the ball. It wasn't like he coming out of breaks with authority or nothing like that anymore. And also, here's another thing to consider. There ain't a team in the NFL that don't sustain injuries. In the starting 22 players on offense and defense, there ain't a team in the NFL that don't lose at least 3. Where can we afford that loss? You see what I mean? You can't be quarterback because we done. You can sustain receiver if Tua take the next level. You can get one of the guys banged up and still have one. It ain't a death sentence unless it's Tyreek. It's different. But anybody else, OBJ or Waddle, it's not a death sentence. Running back, you can lose one. We got so many. So I'm not, but the O-line, you can't lose anybody on the interior, nor the right side. Armstead, you can lose because I actually want to see Patrick Paul take over to see if he can hold up against the real good talent of this league? That's going to be the question. We all Patrick Paul balling. Well, let's wait till we see him going up against them dogs in the league first. Not these second, third, and fourth fiddle players, okay? Pushing them around. But I actually want to see him play. But any injury outside of left tackle on this O-line, I'm immediately concerned. Immediately. Any safety get hurt, immediate concern. Any corner between Fuller and Ramsey get hurt, immediately concerned. Any linebacker, immediately concerned. Any edge rusher, immediately concerned. Any defensive tackle, immediately concerned. Tight end, okay, we can keep it moving, one more down the depth chart. But you see what I'm saying? That's the problem. So even if you were to play the game, and we knock on wood, because we don't want this game to be played, but even if you were like living in a realistic expectation, if I said, okay, remove 3 starters, who would those 3 be? And you're still able to survive. I know you'll go straight to tight end. All right, well, John, all right, because we're all right with Spike. I'm telling you, it gets pretty hard. It gets pretty tough. But you tell me what team known to sustain at least 3 injuries? And then 3 is like, we all right. I mean, we've been talking about 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Like, so you want to know my concern? And this is why I know they've been clipping me lately, but I'm trying to be honest about everything. This is why I am high on the Jets this year. They can lose any position on the O-line. They next man up. You can argue that they could start. You could argue they could start. You lose Mike Williams, they still got Garrett Wilson, right? So they still just like us, okay there. You lose Breece Hall, they done lucked out and found them another running back. Just like we got A-Chain, so they good there. They don't want to lose a tight end. We get that. But really, it's in those trenches where you want to have the depth. Your 8 guys you select for the O-line, or 9 guys, or maybe even 10 for some teams. You want those guys, like they got guys that could come in and it's okay. And the same thing on the defensive line for them. If whoever goes out, it's okay. And that's where we don't have that luxury. And especially one of the most violent positions in the game where it just gets messy. So And the frustrating part about it, we all hope none of this comes to fruition, but if it does, this is where I get angry at Dolphin fans because we get so riled up like, yeah, this is the year, but you're not saying right now, Chris Greer, why are we the second oldest team in the league? Why are we the team that got the most banged up players coming fresh off of injuries and stuff? Guys nursing injuries still. And you want to know where I feel like we're behind the 8 ball of other teams? Nickel. All these guys we be talking about, Cater Kohu and all that, yeah, they come have a few flashes in the Brian Flores system. Once again, the Brian Flores system. 0 blitz. They can play up close and physical. So the ball got to get out quick, and they already there, and we like, yeah, lockdown. But anytime the plays stretch out 3 seconds, 4 seconds, they out there getting cooked every chance they get. And this is why I used to tell y'all, slow down, man. I'm telling you, in training camp, Kohu out there getting yelled at by the coach every other play. Coach like, and you can tell Kohu get beat on the crosser. He wearing his frustration too. But then we come out in the preseason game. Oh, Kohu made some plays. 3rd and 4th stringers. Like, why is it so hard for people to realize week 1 versus the Jags? These ain't first string players. It's a total difference. Total difference. Stop discounting what the starters mean in the NFL. Your best players in the NFL, them starting 22 players between offense and defense, is totally different from some third and fourth string guys. Totally different. You might have 1 or 2 position groups where your third stringers ballers too. You just loaded. But, man, the overall gist of a team, third and fourth stringers, man, stop. Need him as a safety now. Well, if you know what I know, Needham a safety, Campbell a safety, Poyer a safety, Holland a safety, Ramsey a safety. In this system, it's a lot of safeties. Needham also a corner in this system, Ramsey a corner, Holland a corner, Poyer a corner. Campbell. In this system, they rotate and they switch up each other's positions. I'm going to do you one better, though. I'm going to do you one better. I'm gonna show y'all if what I saw in camp becomes the norm. I'm gonna show y'all that Anthony Weaver is employing a system just like Vic Fangio's. It's just that they're making Ramsey happy now because he's the roamer. He's walking around. He at the line of scrimmage on blitzes. And I barely see Ramsey in coverage. Like Ramsey is all over the place, coming from the linebacker position, coming from the safety, coming from the nickel, coming as a DN. Ramsey all over the place. But based off of the scheme, sending the blitz this way, lineman backing out on the other side, corner going out up to the safety coming down. Exactly what Fangio was doing. I'm seeing a lot of the Fangio stuff, but you got there are different wrinkles and stuff in the way that they're using Ramsey. So to me, it's like you're running the same system. It's just that you see certain players weren't happy, so you can be like, "All right, come here. This is what we're gonna do for you." I'm seeing a lot of that. Showing you blitz on the right. And here's the funny thing. Showing you blitz on the right and your strong side on the left with less coverage. So this is what these defenses are doing. You're showing blitz on the right and look like it's really coming, committed, because it is coming in this committed. What you're supposed to do is figure out where your hottie is over there and hit him right away. But here's how they mess the quarterbacks up in this system. But I got 3 receivers on here and only 2 defenders. So is that still my hot, or do I need to hurry up and just hit my guy over here? And this is where they get young quarterbacks because they like, okay, they blitzing over here, but I got an advantage over here, and we already know the signal. All right, we're going to hit you right away, coming right up in that seam. Hike, looking over, defensive lineman, a freaking defensive tackle backing up in the coverage. 280-pounder backing up in the coverage. And bam, oh, it's too late. You sat. When, do your assignment. If they come in that way, reroute, signal, communicate to the tight end, signal to the receiver over there, or switch your running back over to hit the flat, but stress out that blitz. You always want to send it to where the blitz coming from because somebody missing on their assignment. And if they back out, then you go back to the other side because that guy ain't dropping out unless they send in 3. But that's how it's confused because are you going to think about all that real time? Not the young quarterbacks for sure. Not the young quarterbacks. And some of them don't even realize maybe the best play is switch the running back over, halfback draw to the weak side. But who's changing plays? Who's doing all of that in today's NFL? Not many. So, I'm telling y'all, I see a lot of similarities to what Fangio was trying to do anyway. And another thing, let me be clear with y'all. This is why I defended Fangio. Because Fangio knew our nickels were going to be exposed. Fangio knew we didn't have a safety either. Remember the whole time I'm still trying to find a safety opposite Holland that fits the scheme because he didn't feel Brandon Jones was it. And obviously not, because even after he was gone, they moved on for Brandon Jones, right? So here's the funny part of all of that with Fangio. People get mad at him for not customizing it and like doing it the way Ramsey and those guys wanted to do it. Yeah, Holland, I could do what you want to do in your ball. Yeah, Ramsey, I could do what you want to do in your ball. But now Kohu getting exposed on every play. The other safety getting exposed on every play. The linebackers getting exposed on every play. I'm trying to put us in a system where everybody have each other back. I know you don't like it because you're better suited doing other stuff. But for the betterment of the entire defense, we need you to do this. And the man had the 10th ranked defense. And people want to be like, oh, Fangio. It was the 10th ranked defense. Baffles me, man. Everybody try to find a scapegoat. They try to make the people they love look good and find a scapegoat. We'll see. We'll see how it ends up this year. Y'all hit that like button for me. If you're new to the channel, subscribe now. Slip and Jimmy said the Cowboys, who were frauds, outplayed us on our own turf. This is true. But people don't care about that. They just say, we won. Yeah, they turned the ball over 3 times in the 10-yard line. They dumb self. Don't say that on Twitter. X OBJ will snap back. Did you see where he did that? Yeah, I saw it, but I didn't feel like nothing was wrong with what he did, though. And I'm not doing what the other person did. The other person's making the other person is making it seem like they're getting information from somebody saying OBJ man ain't gonna play this year. He almost like he gonna walk away from football. And OBJ was like, that just ain't true. Like, y'all come up with the craziest stuff. Now, I'm not saying that it ain't there ain't substance to it, but here's what I believe. Here's what I think they were trying to say. OBJ ain't gonna be able to play football no more, dealing with the injury. And he gonna get paid trying to come back the whole time. Y'all remember what's his name? What's the man name who was playing for us, who got hurt? And I ain't even talk about Byron Jones. What's his name? The wide receiver. What's his name? Gosh. He came back like 1 game or 1.5 or something. Y'all got to help me. The wide receiver we had, that Will Fuller. Yep. That's what I believe they were trying to say. He's about to Will Fuller us because he'll get paid. I'm not saying this is the case, but if OBJ knows, man, I don't think I'm going to play football ever again. I mean, whatever's ailing me and I'm trying to come back, I'm trying, but I could keep pushing through and trying, and I get paid just for trying. I don't know. And it ain't big money because you got to hit incentives. But that's all I'm saying. Yeah, Fuller, his finger. Yeah, whatever it was, right? That's what I believe that they were trying to convey. And I ain't gonna lie, I can't help but see it. When you see him at camp over there on the other field all by himself, sprinting down the field, but you know something wrong. This lingering injury that's hurting, and it's been hurting for 2 years now, and I can't stand it. It's hard to play, but I'm pushing on. Yeah, Mike, I ain't ready yet. I still feel it, but I feel like it's getting better. Next thing you know, it's week 8. It's the strongest it's felt, and I feel like it's almost there. And then next you know, we be talking. The important thing is to have them back for playoffs. Man, just like us. Just like us. But who knows? We hoping that we get them back sooner rather than later. We hoping that we get them back. It's just that when they're not actively practicing full speed, you feel like he not going to make it week 1. You feel like he ain't going to make it week 1. Big O say OBJ is fine and ready for the season, even though they show him struggling today. It's 2 different tales. Hold on. Maybe this is new to me. Was OBJ fully practicing today? Because I didn't even look at my practice report that I got. Was he fully practicing today? You say he was struggling today. Was he fully practicing or he was just struggling in workout? I mean, you might be giving news to me. Anybody know? Because I ain't heard nothing about that. But anyway, this is the time of the year that players want to get healthy. No, he was running on the side. I done been to camp. He do that every day. He running on the opposite field. He running up the side. He do that every day. But to suggest he's ready, he's just waiting for the regular season, y'all got to stop that. If you're ready, there ain't no life where you're not out there running with your quarterback for continuity, learning tendencies, timing. They got to stop that. He not ready. If Jalen Phillips out there, who's way 10 times more valuable to this team right now, OBJ ain't ready. And don't tell me, yeah, but he older. They don't want to. Then they would be sitting Calais Campbell down. I didn't even see Teron Armstead out there practice, even if he ain't doing 11 on 11s. He might be doing individuals. So he not ready. Whoever's saying that, listen, stop. Now, by week 1, right? I mean, like right before the regular season, if you get reports that he's been practicing, OBJ was practicing today and that type of stuff, okay. Maybe he's getting ready for week 1. Maybe he's getting ready. But we'll see. Shout out to everybody watching right now. Literally 500 people between YouTube and Twitter on a late night stream. Shocking, man. That's crazy. Listen, this stream again is being powered by BetUS. Receive a 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits up to $2,000. If you're looking for a sports book, remember, BetUS is the place to go. This stream is powered by BetUS, the proud sponsor of tdphinstalk. Ladies and gentlemen, they got the odds up for the preseason game. Make sure that you go check it out. They are available right now. Let's hear a quick word from our sponsor.
Michael Vick here at BetUS.com. Get it all. Huge bonuses, great odds, a race book, live in-game betting, and a casino. BetUS, my online sports book and casino.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Link in the description of the video, also pinned at the top of the chat. Take advantage of it, and supporting the sponsor is supporting the channel. All right, y'all. So the Miami Dolphins, listen, like I said, they've been like cutting practice short and going inside. So that's been kind of sucky. But I can't wait to see this preseason game. But here's what I'll say. I'm like hearing that McDaniel may not play the starters again. Have y'all heard that, or have we gotten an official whether or not they're going to play? Y'all going to have to help me out with that. Let me know in the chat if you've heard something or you've seen reports on whether or not they're going to play on Saturday. I need them to be out there. I understand we wrapping everybody up in bubble wrap, but man, I kind of need our guys out there. Like, you can't be scared of injuries because you're going to have to go out there and play eventually. But let me say this too. If you got a team where you're scared of injuries, then you got the wrong team anyway. Like, you're supposed to build a team to where, hey, things happen. The show goes on. That's what you're supposed to build. They better be out there. We got to see something. I thought I heard he was going to play some starters. I'm not sure though. Man, I know Tua say he want to play. So I'm hoping that these guys line it up and play. I need to see him on the field. Especially, I want to see him on the field. You know what else I want to see? Because I want to see Jayden Daniels in a game setting go up against our starters. Because listen, let me be honest with y'all. I don't know what y'all been hearing. He cooked us today. I know they were like, oh, it was the red zone session. Cooking is cooking. You gave this man 5 touchdowns out of 8 passes. He cooked us today, Jayden Daniels. And they said it was ribeye, medium well. They say when we got in the open field, the defense played a little bit better. And even that interception, he was cooking us on his interception. They said the receiver fell right before the ball got there, and that's the only reason it was picked. This is why I tell y'all the joint practices is what matter. Not all of this practicing against each other, because it's hard to tell. 5 of 7, I heard, TD. I could be wrong. I heard 5 of 8, but okay. Either way, it's cooking. And last week I was optimistic all last week. This week I'm optimistic, but my nerves are on a 10 out of 10 because my mind is saying, what you optimistic about? But I'm trying to be optimistic, but my nerves are just up. Like, why are you lying to yourself? And you want to know why? Because when I watch training camp, right, I usually get indicators. Like every year I've reported exactly our strengths and weaknesses on this team before week 1. I told y'all, I said, anybody that plays zone against us, 2 are going to rip them apart. I told you that 2 years in a row. I said, man press coverage, it could get a little tougher. Certain things, if it's bump and run, man press with actual putting hands on. I said, because 2 is just killing everybody in camp when it's zone coverage, putting that ball right between defenders and spots and all that, just murdering people. I mean, it's a thing of beauty, to be honest with you. I said the pass rush is so-so. The O-line, average at best. And this year, when I look at camp and everything that's coming out of it, it's like O-line trash. Pass rush is great. But then you play great competition or joint practices, pass rush ain't great. Does that make the O-line even more trash? Secondary balling. Never mind. Like, and the only thing I can hold on to is I'm seeing Tua go through reads. That's the only thing that I'm like in my mind. But what if he improves, but other situations regress? Or what if he never improves? Or what if he abandons trying to be the better version because the O-line is so trash that he just got to go back to being a better version, which means he's still not getting the reps to improve what he's been working on. Like all of this is just circulating in my head, and I already know what some people thinking because I'm thinking it myself, bro. You're overthinking it. You know, we'll be fine. Well, that ain't what I'm gonna say because every year y'all tell me we're gonna be fine. The most frustrating thing about this year, knowing that we have a lot of talent on the roster, the thing that bothers me the most is that I've removed myself from becoming this casual, like just dolphin head. That bothers me, not because I stopped being like this dolphin head, but I know a lot more now. I pay attention to the whole league now. I check on what other people are doing now. See, the normal Dolphin fan, the normal Dolphin fanatic, is tunnel vision. Dolphins, Dolphins, Dolphins. We did that. We're the best. We did that. We're the best. We did this. We're the best. We got that. We're the best. Oh, y'all did something over there? Oh, I don't want to see it. No, we did this. We did this. We're the best. I don't see what nobody else is out there doing. I don't see nobody else. I don't at all. And I'm not that person anymore. Where it's Dolphins, Dolphins, Dolphins are the best. They're the best. And everything we do is better than what everybody else does. Every move we make is the next one to get us to the this is it. I'm not that anymore. Now I've literally removed those and I look at my team and I say, dang, look at what the Jets did. Look what the Eagles did. Look at what the Falcons just did. Man, do you see what Tennessee did? Ooh, do you see what Houston did on top of what they already did? Green Bay done got healthy, and look at what they got. Browns, Ravens add that. You think that they had all they needed? Chiefs, oh man, they winning without, and now they got Burrow back. I see it all. I see everybody's circumstance. I dive into our roster and I say, look at our roster. Have y'all dived into the Atlanta Falcons roster? They got two great safeties, two good corners, two really good linebackers, two really good pass rushers, one of the best defensive tackles in the league. And you're just like, man, their defense is better than ours on paper, actually. It'd be a shocker. You think, well, when you really look at it, our defense only touts Ramsey and Holland. Everybody else ain't in that echelon anymore. Chubb ain't in that echelon anymore. Good player. Phillips ain't in that echelon. Good player. You know, let's be honest. You know, that the conversation of all pro and pro bowlers, you know, Phillips and Ramsey. But you look at some of these other rosters and you're like, I didn't mention the 49ers. I didn't even mention the Steelers. I didn't mention the Lions. Like the Bears. We're hoping Caleb just have a rookie season. But if he's CJ Stroud it, they got a potential to be better than the Texans from last year. If you go look at their roster, I no longer have the tunnel vision on the Dolphins, and that's one of my biggest concerns because we just think that we it when have you looked around the NFL? Have you looked around the NFL lately? This is why on ESPN, Stephen A. and Molly can go do what they did this morning and nobody care but Dolphin fans. Because everybody feel that way but Dolphin fans. Are the Dolphin series contenders? No. Nobody, no. Like, we're the only fan base. How are they disrespecting us? Everybody else look at us like, no. They got talent. They fast. But no. Only us. Yeah. Like, because sometimes we don't want to sit down and evaluate why other people doubt us, nor do we want to acknowledge the reasons they doubt us. If we took the Dolphin logo off of us and we put a Buffalo Bill logo on us, Dolphin fans would be all on social media. Your quarterback can't stay healthy. He can't play in cold weather. He fold against good teams. What are y'all talking about? You ain't got no edge rushers. They all banged up. Don't get me started on your linebacking core. Hollering about your only good piece on defense, him and Ramsey. Fuller give up more touchdowns than Little League. Your O-line is probably one of the worst in the league. Who y'all got at tight end again? Janu. They said Janu. Like, if this is what Dolphin fans would be saying if it was a different emblem on the helmet. That's the funny part about it all. I know, because I be breaking down all these teams. Y'all, they got it. But I'm sitting back and noticing, man, what everybody else got. We ain't at the top of the block. We ain't just the best of the best. It's a lot of teams that got what we got, a little less, and some maybe a little more. Bro, this is normal. We haven't earned that respect. That's the whole point. We got to earn it. Yeah, I agree. But this is what I got to ask you. What's going to be different this year that's going to allow us to earn it? Like, give me the tangible things that have changed this year that's going to allow us to earn it. And that's where the conversation has to start. And I'm here. This is why I'm live, literally going into midnight. Talk to me, people. Put it in the chat. What has changed this year that's going to allow us to earn it and get the respect? What's different? What's different that's proven? Anybody? Anybody want to chime in? Or are you sitting there like, let me find one. I guarantee a lot of y'all having a real hard time right now. See, because we just go out and we just say we're gonna earn the respect this year. Like, okay, yeah, okay, I'm with you. Talking points, just like these president-elects, always with talking points. We're gonna be better. We're gonna have a better tomorrow. Don't tell me that. Tell me how. Tell me what exactly is different. What we gonna do? Running back and better backup pieces. What are you talking about? What better backup pieces? What better backup pieces? We already regressed with the starters. Replacing Hunt and Christian Wilkins, we already regressed with the starters. And better backup pieces? No, the people you think backups are our starters now. Better backups, Poyer, he's our starter. Fuller, he's our starter now. Linebackers, they're the ones we brought in are our starters now. TD, if everyone in the division is healthy, where do we stand if you remove the QB for each team? But I don't understand what you mean by remove the QB. You mean the QB gets hurt and he's out? Where do we stand? Or I don't. You got to clarify that. If everybody healthy and we don't have Tua, do I got to answer that? Maybe you meant it another way. Maybe who got a better roster without the quarterback? Take the quarterback out of the equation. The Jets got the best roster. You put the quarterback in the equation, they got the best roster. Oh yeah, I know Poyer a baller, but he old, heck of a football player. Guess what? Odds are you got him on his worst time of his career based off of his age and getting banged up a little bit more often now. I know how good Poyer can be. I know how good OBJ can be. But Baltimore didn't get the guy that was what he could be, like what he was. You're getting a lesser version now of these guys y'all mentioning. All y'all visioning in your head were his better days. You know, when OBJ was with the Giants and everybody. That's all you're visioning. And right now you're hoping that you see that again. Them days gone, people. Them days gone. Them days gone. But that's all y'all see. So hopefully we can revive that engine and get the level of play of old. That would be nice. Yeah. Never mind, TD was looking for a positive, my man. LOL. Now, me too. Here's the crazy thing. When I have conversations like this and I go on rants like this, the sad part about it is I'm looking for the positive too. Like I do it at least once a week. I go through our whole roster mentally. And I say to myself, where are the positives that I have zero concern about, zero possibility about, or at least history that would give me a possible concern about? I go through our whole roster and I try to find it. I go through our whole roster and I try to find what's positive that I have I wouldn't have a concern about. Even if it happened, I wouldn't have been concerned about it. Like, dang, it happened. But I wouldn't have been concerned that it would happen. I try to look through the whole roster for that. And I promise it's just so hard to find. It's so hard to find. Let me give you an example. Y'all name the positive, and I promise you I'll be able to say, but this is the concern. Name the thing positive. Name the positive. I try to think about the ironclad things. One thing we know, bam. And I can't get past two or three if I'm lucky. Number one, Tyreek gonna be Tyreek with zero concern. I don't worry about him getting hurt, even though he was banged up last year, but he fights through as best he can. Missing one game ain't nothing to be concerned about. Tyreek is number one on my list. He gonna be him. Then I gotta go deep in the brain, and I'm like, ain't nothing on this roster I can ironclad. Our running backs are locked in. No, they ain't. A-Chain only played half a season. You don't think that's a concern? Mostert got banged up early. You don't think that's a concern? I'm not talking about just great players. Armstead a great player, but he only played 11 games. Concern. So that's what I mean. Up and down the roster, tell me where there's no, like, where's the positive where you don't worry about a concern? And that's what I'm saying, if you being honest with yourself, right? If you're being honest with yourself. It's hard. Holland, concern, because once again, when you watch the film and you break down Holland's play, he ain't what y'all make him out to be. He got a high rating, but I'm sorry, Holland be messing up sometimes. Holland just like Tua. You can see it, the correlation on PFF. Every game we lost, he was horrible. Because when you go up against real competition, Holland don't have good games. Y'all see him flying around versus Denver and the Giants. And who is this dude talking about Holland? Holland's is a dog. We always, boy, I swear, boy, man. Let's just focus on getting Holland paid. Other teams will have injuries and issues. I love when y'all say that when I had this conversation. There's always levels to this. There's always levels, ladies and gentlemen. And a lot of football enthusiasts don't like to pay attention to the detailed levels. So this is what I'm saying. You see how I went to Tyreek and that was it? You see how I said Tyreek is the only player on the team that zero concern, no concern whatsoever. And that was it. Every team going to deal with concerns and have a high level of them. But guess what? On other teams, I might can name 4, 5, or 6 non-concerns. It might only be 3 non-concerns, but we're 1. And this is what we do. We try to act like 1 is the same as 4. Well, it's still low. No, it's a difference. Going into war with situations where you know you ain't concerned about. Having 1 versus 3 is a big difference. Waddle been limping since he was drafted. Probably before that. That's a little joke of mine, but it's true. Even Waddle, since he been drafted. I don't know what to think about Waddle. Like Waddle, and let's get something straight. Waddle is a dog, but Waddle still be making me mad with them drops sometimes. Man, I'm telling you, we should have had our first playoff win 2 years ago with Skylar Thompson. And this ain't even trying to big up Skylar Thompson, but y'all know I ain't lying. Waddle need to stop, man. Waddle a dog, so I try not to even talk about him. Because when you do too much good, I don't care about the little wrong. But if you want to talk about it, ain't nobody perfect. That's why I got mad at people last year trying to put blame on Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill, if he wouldn't have dropped that touchdown, if Tyreek Hill wouldn't have fumbled, man, if y'all don't shut y'all mouth, this man do 3 times what he supposed to do. And you get mad because he dropped 1 critical touchdown. You wouldn't be in this game anyway if it wasn't for him. We ain't coming for Tyreek Hill last year just to make somebody else look good. Cut that mess out. Man out here putting up 1,800 yards and y'all mad he didn't get another 20 pass. Ain't no excuse. You got to make that Tyreek, but hey, there's a room for error for every single player in this league. You can't tell me a player that don't miss something. Yeah, but it was a touchdown. Man, do I need to pull up a collage of missed touchdowns from Justin Jefferson, Devontae Adams, and everybody else? Your wide receiver wasn't the only one that dropped a touchdown in the end zone last year. It would have made all the difference. Then add the touchdowns for the other players too, and we would have ended up probably in the same place. Y'all got to stop that, man. I can't believe, boy, when people came for Tyreek last year, I almost lost my mind. I'm like, see, this is what I'm talking about. Y'all be bigging up in certain people so much that Tyreek dropped 1 touchdown from him and y'all done lost y'all mind. Oh, my. I can't. But let that player miss a touchdown, and it's okay. Everybody miss some. That's a two-way street. Anyway, every receiver drops a TD. Exactly, man. They just wanted to point out the emphasis because they feel like their quarterback would have looked better. Well, newsflash. Every quarterback would have looked better. I just don't get that piece of it. But anyway, but yeah, I always think about that. I go through the whole roster and I say to myself, where's your guarantee solidify, And some rosters you may only can point out 3, 4. You might have some rosters with 6, 7, 8. But Miami, I always find it hard to get past 2 or 3. Tyreek, Durham Smythe, that's about it. Nah, ain't no Alec Ingold. Y'all better go check again. A lot of teams don't even run a fullback, so he's like one of 8 players in the league at the position. So it ain't that hard to be at the top when you got a top offense. Just saying. A-Chain again. The man only played 8 games last year. It's a concern. Can he stay healthy? Can he stay healthy? Ramsey, can he stay healthy at this point in his career? So this is what I'm saying. Everybody got this thing attached to them that you hope, So that's why you go through rosters in the NFL. Every team has this issue, which is normal, but some got less than, some got more than others, and that's a big difference. Austin Jackson, we ain't gonna do that. Let my fellow Dolphin fans tell that Austin Jackson is one of the best right tackles in the NFL. We don't have these conversations about the average to above average players in the league. We don't. Sanders, y'all remember like a year ago, we were kind of like ready to cancel Sanders, but I think he got his act back together a little bit. So Sanders, I mean, I could put Sanders on there. I've always been a Sanders fan, but 2 years ago or a year ago, like before last year, we were like kind of like, man, Sanders needed to tighten up. I don't even remember what for, but yeah, he was slipping on some kicks. But yeah. Well, thank God he helped us win the Cowboy game, because if it wasn't for him in that Cowboy game, one field goal miss, I don't even think we would have made the playoffs. Would we have made the playoffs with 10 wins? I'm not sure. At least that was an out of conference game, so it probably wouldn't have hurt us to that degree. I don't know. I never looked at that. Would we have made the playoffs if we would have lost one more game? Maybe we would have still made it. I don't know. I don't know who the wild card was. Well, we were the wild card. I'm tripping. We were like 5th or something like that. Mm-hmm. We made it when we beat the Jets. Yeah, but if we had lost that one more game, we wouldn't have made it when we beat the Jets. We would have still needed a game to at least clinch it. I don't know. It is what it is. Let me see. Zach Zeeler. Whoa. You know what? I could put Zeeler on there. The thing that I'm scared about with Zeeler, there is a concern. Who is Zach Zeeler without Christian Wilkins? We don't know. We sure about to find out. We are sure about to find out. And I feel like he's starting to get a little older too, but we sure about to find out. The O-line is only good for the run game and short scheme. Tua will have to run the ball more and throw defense off. Yeah, I think they're just going to bite the bullet this year and they're going to run Tua. He's going to get up out of there sometimes. I'm just so nervous about that. I used to say he need to run because why you hide him? That's a limitation. If you got a quarterback with a limitation, you got to hide a skill. Then he don't need to be the quarterback. Now I'm like, man, don't run that man, because you done paid him now. Do not run that man. We stuck with him for at least 2-3 years, maybe. And if he get hurt, even longer, because you just keep guaranteeing years every injury. Don't run that man. Protect him at all costs. But if y'all gonna sit out there and run that man, I'm telling you, I'm going ballistic. He get hurt. And you know what the media gonna do? I don't care if he out for 3 weeks. Miami knew what they were getting themselves into. The whole media gonna be eating us alive. This is why you shouldn't have paid him when you didn't have to. What made it like they need to? This is why Miami's always a losing organization. All that talent they have, they should be going to AFC Championship games, but instead they perennial first round exits if they even make it. Media gonna eat us alive. They need to reevaluate how they do things in the front office, and which is true. And then Stephen Ross gonna see that, and he can be like, "Ugh. Chris Greer, I need to meet with you in the building in the morning." All right, I'll see you there. Greer gonna pull up, smiling with zero worry. Stephen Ross gonna sit him down. I'm a little concerned, and if things don't get fixed, I think we're gonna need to make a change in staffing. And I need you to get it together. And Chris Greer gonna look right at him and be like, I totally agree. If this doesn't turn around real soon, then I'm considering firing Mike McDaniel. And Ross in his head, oh, I was talking about you. Oh, no. Don't forget. The issues we having, I tried to go invest in him in O-line. As to collaborate with him, he sat us all down and told us we don't need it. Yeah, but you signed Tua on this deal and he out here getting hurt again. That's your responsibility. No. Who was it that called you and went to bat? I was playing chicken. I was lowballing and making sure that we were going to be all right if this situation happened. You the one called you and you decided to go ahead and sign off on it. Not me. Remember, we all being collaborative. We're not having the Flores situation anymore. We're being collaborative. The things I want to do would work, but he's telling us we don't need an O-line and he go to bat for Tua. Collaborative. You know what? You're right. You know what? You're right. But we're stuck with him now. Because he got hurt and he guaranteed another year. But that's all right. You give me the green light. I'll fix this situation. How you going to do it? I'm going to draft me a quarterback in the first round. And move up to get one if I have to. Or trade for one. I can get up off of this deal after this year. He can sit there and make his money. I'm Chris Greer good. Chris Greer is straight. I'm telling you. Don't run that man. Protect Tua at all costs and let him sit back there and work to his strength of being accurate throwing the football. Stop all of this. He getting more nimble and he, picking up a little speed. And man, y'all better stop that mess. I keep telling y'all. Y'all better stop with all that, man. Tua finna get out that pocket this year. All right. I keep telling y'all. The man ain't no runner. You gotta stop that mess. I don't care if it was pre-hip. Stop. He was still small. That's why the hip gave in. Sit that man in the pocket and just let him do what he do well. and hope you start going through progression and teach them how to throw the ball away when time running out. Get rid of it. Might even get more roughing the passes. We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, man, your boy going on 2 hours, man. I'm really in right now. Anyway, thank y'all so much for coming through tonight. I'm about to take a shower and get me some rest. Y'all subscribe to the channel if you're new. Again, this stream was sponsored by BetUS. Receive a 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits up to $2,000. Make sure you check them out. Here's a final word from our sponsor. Y'all have a great night. I love y'all. You stay blessed, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace. I'm out.
Michael Vick here at BetUS.com. Get it all. Huge bonuses, great odds, a race book, live in-game betting, and a casino. BetUS, my online sports book and casino.